Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cactus Patch. I am your host, Glitch Cactus, but you can call me Cactus. And after a brief hiatus, about maybe a month or two or so, we have a very exciting topic to come back and bring to the table. While some people are interested about the competitive North American League, I figured shine some light on a competitive scene that most don't really know even is out there. Today, we're talking about competitive table turf, and joining us, we have Black Rose Dragon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure, and I can't wait to learn about this pretty much I feel like unknown competitive scene in the community. But before we jump that far, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into Splatoon in general, and what you do?
Uh, I don't actually remember how I start. I know I remember starting with Splatoon 1. I remembered that.
Okay, okay. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's like a
No,
good
I
side,
don't.
but most people end up feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I started on 1. I don't remember exactly the context of why. And
Hmm.
I want to say it's because wanted to play with a friend.
Okay.
No, then I played 2 for a bit, took a few years break, came back to it at some point. I played a good chunk of 3 until like a few months ago, where I had to start focusing on other things.
Hmm.
But I still play I've played table turf competitively roughly since the online came out.
Okay.
Yeah, and nowadays I'm the host for Casual Card Club. That happens every Friday night.
So besides competitive table turf, did you ever kind of like kind of dip your toes into any other sides of like the scene in general? Like, did you try it at all competitive or like maybe TOing or any other events, or has table turf been like your main focus?
I have tried with a few guys from the Table Turf Battle server, which I will abbreviate to TBS
Hmm.
from now on, just for ease.
Yeah.
I've tried being like a comp team with a few people from there. We've had like a few runs, and then we just kind of realized we are the most unorganized people in the world. So that constantly was like, oh, I forgot. Oh, I had something planned. I don't know. No one is just responding. And at some point, you're just like, okay, I know we've like silently accepted this because we haven't talked about this in like 6 weeks.
Hmm.
But should we properly disband? Yeah, no, tried a bit of competitive table turf, or no, not table turf, competitive Splatoon.
Hmm.
But it was fine. And then personally never really like tried to join another team.
Yeah. I think that's valid. I feel like some people feel when you try out competitive, it's one of those things where it's like you feel like it's for you or you feel like it's not. And usually your first couple weeks to months is a good tell sign for some people. And that's somehow sometimes people end up going, different routes, which in your case you did, and you went probably one of the most niche, but I feel like could be most exciting routes that Splatoon 3 has had to offer. So tell me about what kind of piqued your interest in table turf to begin with?
Well, I have played a lot of card games over the years, and a lot of strategy games in general.
Mhm.
Yeah, like literally my first experience to video games ever was as a 5-year-old watching my brother play Age of Empires 1 on a CD.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Yeah, I was completely it's engrossed the right word? It's completely like, "Holy, this is
Yeah.
so cool." And I stuck with strategy games for ages. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! I've played Hearthstone, I've tried to play Magic, didn't really go. I've played the Pokemon card game,
Mhm.
and then when the trailers for Splatoon 3 were happening, and it's like, "Oh, cool, there's now a Splatoon card game as well." I'm really excited to try this out.
Do you
And then I did.
Do you ever, do you still, like, have, like, a hand at, like, the physical card games, like, competitively, or do you mainly focus, like, other things and then just when you can running the table turf events?
I don't really play like a lot of card games physically, mostly because it's stupid expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's gotten
Let's see.
pretty
If
bad.
I'm just gonna quickly Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's say just right. I'm just gonna look at like really quickly like a top Yu-Gi-Oh deck for its cost.
Mhm.
Let's see if I can find anything quickly. That's Master Duel. That doesn't count. No, but I think the Pokemon card game is fairly cheap, but like just playing Magic or playing Magic is expensive. Playing Yu-Gi-Oh is expensive.
Mhm.
Can
Yeah, I
like
mean, so we've
can't
especially the past year, we've seen like the boom in a lot of trading card games. I know for most people that like casually collect or sometimes try to compete in like the competitive Pokemon TCG, there's been that whole like boom of like crypto bros and sneakerheads coming over. So like the cost of modern sets has like risen significantly, but thankfully I think we're in like a period where it's finally correcting itself. So most cards are now finally becoming more affordable. Um, but yeah, it's just over time. I think just in general, a lot of just the prices for decks or just in general like product and to try to get yourself the card itself have just constantly been on the rise. So I totally get that perspective of like
yeah.
it. Let's stick digital.
Yeah. If I quickly take like this Reddit post from 2 years ago, because I like if you have all the staples, a Yu-Gi-Oh deck should cost around 200 to 400, and if you don't, add another 200 or so.
hmm
So like that is a lot of money to put in cardboard.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And even like Hearthstone and for Yu-Gi-Oh as well with Master Duel, even if you play it online, that's still a crap ton of packs you need to buy if you want to really dig in.
Yeah, it's insane that like considering where they started, right? Like they used to be like practically nothing. So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool though in a sense to see it's gotten so popular to a point where like there's just so much being produced and so many things constantly
Yeah.
changing with it that it's getting to a point where like it may even though it may be a little harder to kind of get your hands on the
Yeah.
stuff to create those those decks and give yourself those opportunities to
Yeah.
go further in those events, but in general, it's also cool to just think there's events out there that like for some companies that like make those card games are like officially sponsored. So you're gonna be able to be like, yeah, like the company I play this for, they back this up, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and even like taking it like for the pricing, it's like the big pricing is if you really want like the top tier decks and the
hmm
very best like if you just want to play casually, you could easily do that. You just not don't expect to win any games against a top tier deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like if I want to play a man eater bug like those actually let's see card mark. What is a man eater bug for Yu-Gi-Oh? All right. Hurry up. Let's see. Yeah, these goes for like 20, let's say it's $3. That's actually really expensive. 25, 24, 9 cents, 10 cents, 2 cents. Like if you just want an really old school Yu-Gi-Oh card, it's really easy.
hmm
Just the very top of the meta. That's where the expensive parts are.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think more people too that get into it, they have an understanding of how good those are. Even if like it's maybe people that aren't players per se, right?
Yeah,
They are just like people that have like the knowledge of it and they unfortunately use it to their advantage to try to if they have those cards in their hands to secondhand market charge a lot more than they should. But I mean
yeah,
that's what happens with anything.
yeah. True.
So kind of turning the gears a little back to table turf. Um were you kind of one of the original, I don't want to say founders, but kind of like the original players that kind of got a competitive side to table turf, like the scene itself to start growing and building?
Debatable. Before the online for table turf launched,
Mhm.
people were actually like playing on a simulator.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, I know, like, from because the main tournament we run is Table Turf Battle Open, TBO.
Mhm.
I believe, like, I don't quote me on this, but I believe the first 7 tournaments of those ran on simulators.
Oh, okay,
So I
that's
wasn't
interesting.
around since the, like, very, very beginning,
Yeah.
but, like, I joined in pretty early after online, hit up.
Yeah, and so When it came to, I guess, the online play, was there what kind of, I guess, probably saw like was there like a huge spike in like interest once people started seeing that like it has online play, people can compete with each other? Because I know like a lot of times
Mm,
when I've talked to just regular competitive players, right, it was one of those things where once like the resources were available, once they saw Splatoon 2 was becoming a thing, and like events were kind of popping up left and right, people are like, "There's interest in this, let's make tournaments." Was there a similar kind of case for table turf?
mm. Partially, I could like I do not know the exact numbers from before I came. I
Mm-hmm.
could look those up, but there are definitely we had a good amount of players, so we had to let's see if I can quickly grab a number, but pardon me.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, like a lot of the there are definitely let's see, 20 TBO 7, which is the second one after online. That had 26 players. Then
Mm-hmm.
we had we had 16 players. There are BGC or Baby Jelly Cup. That's our low ink basically at 24 players. Like
Okay.
there was definitely interest in playing table turf.
Yeah. So considering I like that you said that you guys kind of have like your own low ink similar type of event, which I think is really really cool. Would you say that some events are kind of like um get kind of inspiration from what the competitive side of Splatoon overall, how it's like run to help kind of formulate and like push a certain way that the table turf scene can run?
What do you mean exactly? I don't
So like
completely
so like
understand.
so like you mentioned how like you have a baby jelly event which is like similar to like a low ink. So what would be like, I guess, since I'm not too familiar with the table turf side, so what is like the event that has like, I guess what you would call like the super jump of table turf?
Like the top of the top. You
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah. It's a little. Well, we don't have like a top tier. Like only the best people can join
Mhm.
or usually join. Like we have Table Turf Battle Open or TBO, which is our main tournament.
Mhm.
And then every now and then re what? We run a tournament we call Diamond Bracket. Like
Okay.
like yeah, like for instance, like we for have a Diamond Bracket next week, coincidentally.
Oh, nice.
But that's like everyone who has won a TBO
Mhm.
or got a certain amount of points which we award afterwards.
Yeah.
We kept track of. Those people get invited to Diamond Brackets. So like these are the best people of the season at the moment.
So now
And yeah, and then those duke it
mhm.
out against each other.
And now when you say season, do you guys kind of like create like your own like how long does like the seasons usually last?
Grab it out of thin air as far as I'm aware, but
That's so fair.
yeah,
I guess it
yeah,
really
no,
depends
it's
each time, right? Because it depends how many people enter, how many people are going to be
yeah,
able to consistently like be available for it.
yeah, true, and also we just need enough participants as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
Like if let's say like this never happened, it's also why we have the point system. But if we have just one guy who is winning every single tournament, it's really boring if it's just him and someone else.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Um, is there like a I guess what is like the meta like when it comes to table surf? Like obviously for regular Splatoon, you have
Yeah,
your mid lines, you have your your pencil, etc. What are some like meta defining maybe decks or cards that you'll see a lot of players run?
it's kind of funny because technically you can play any like every card can be placed on the board.
Hmm.
So like if you can make a card work, it is a that makes it a meta card, so to say.
Yeah.
But because we have 15 maps available at all times,
Hmm.
well, except for one which we have banned for some reasons, you can still gentleman it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Maybe. So yeah, for at the top of competitive table turf, we have basically every player runs a specific deck for that map,
Okay.
which cards with cards that like specifically synergize. Because on the at the beginning of table turf, it's because it was very bare bones is not, but it's just very early on in its scene, so people were more focused in having the perfect fill in
Mhm.
compared to like the most efficient fill in.
Okay.
So like because we take 12 turns and then let's say like 9 of those were spent getting your perfect base built in.
Mhm.
So if I compare it to like a 5 minute rank match, it means you spend like the first 3.5 minutes getting a perfect defense setup.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
And is there a like stages or maps that are more preferred by the competitive players in table turf? Like, 'cause you said there's like 15. So is there like roughly like a handful that you see more commonly than the others?
That's that depends really on the player because how we do it is we have a in your first round we have five specific maps which we can pick from, and then
Mhm.
whoever wins the coin toss at the start gets to ban one of those maps. Then the other player gets to ban two of those starter maps, and then the first player picks one of the two remaining ones.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
then whoever wins that match gets from the entire 15 map pool gets to ban two of those maps, and then the opponent can pick from any of the remaining ones.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. So like let's say I am a very aggressive words. I know my opponent is like really good on these specific map. Like let's just say square squared, or it's one of my bad maps. I can ban it strategically.
Mhm.
But like there are way too many maps to like can't consistently ban out. So you do see most of them a fair amount.
Yeah. And I imagine because there's not like the scene isn't as large as like the regular competitive scene. I imagine there's like numerous times players will go against the same people over and over, and I imagine like um I guess each time there's like an expectation what they're gonna do, but I imagine it's kind of a frequent change on like people just having certain decks for instead of just not only maps but against certain players.
Yeah, kind of like people run whatever they feel comfortable with because that
Hmm.
is like a big part. Because like for a personal example, if you play against me, there's a very high chance you see me run a Scrapper and a Moss because they fit in perfectly with each other.
Hmm.
But like so for that reason, I prefer the more straight maps, so to say. Like I prefer square squared over river drift.
Yeah. Yeah, because it gives you more space to work with and less of those like weird turns or angles or edges. That way
Yeah,
allows you to have more completion when you're putting those cards together.
yeah. So how a typical turf game at competitive plays out is we have roughly a third of our deck is dedicated to opening cards.
Okay.
Like these are the very big ones, like Megalodontia, Ouroboros. In some cases, Shiver and Big Man. Well,
Hmm.
not Big Man, but you get the point.
Yeah.
We have like these very big cards, so it could take up a lot of space and secure it. 'Cause that's the big thing. Like in table turf, you can't paint over someone else's tiles.
Hmm.
So it's not like like in normal Splatoon, if I shoot an E-leader shot, it's like you cannot cross this line. That is
Yeah.
not how it goes. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But that is how it goes in table turf. Like you need to special over that line if you want to get in.
Hmm.
So we have like a third of our deck roughly is dedicated to an opening card. Then we have the rest of the deck, which is combo cards.
Hmm.
So like most people, well, basically everyone has like, but well, when they deck build, they place a card down. Pardon me. They place a card down, and then like they try to find like, oh, well, let's say I play Megalodontia, and it's like, oh, there's this little staircase hole in it. That there a steelhead can fit in that. Can I? Okay, now I'd have the steelhead in. Is there something else I can fit around this
Hmm.
efficiently?
Yeah.
Like, oh, gnarly Eddie fits in here, and like so on and so on. And then we have a few smaller cards, like typically up to like size 3 or something.
Hmm.
Those we use to like basically like make like little poke hints in holes or just fix up uh, like the final pieces of combos if the deck needs it.
Mhm.
And then we have usually two cards we dedicate for special attacks, which are the special weapons in the main game. So Booyah Bomb, Reef Slider,
Mhm.
Ultra
Yeah.
Stamp. Yeah, and we are unoriginal, so we just call them 312s because they paint over 12 squares
Mhm.
while only only requiring 3 special to activate.
Okay.
Because in comparison, a splatter shot, which is is 8 points and and costs 3 to special. So you lay like 50% more points basically from playing a special weapon. Because the downside of those cards is that they themselves do not have a special point.
Mhm. Is it more like, so for some, like, in the regular competitive scene, right? You usually, like, whenever you're going for, I guess, certain end games, you're trying to build up as many specials as possible, and you want to be able to use them strategically. Is for a table surf concern, you can have some special usage where you fill those bars up fairly well, and you can use maybe up to. I mean, I'm not sure what the max is, but I know, like, when I used to play casually, just for fun, just building it when it first came out, you had, like, if you earn enough of those squares filled, you got 2 to 3 times you can use, like, especially if you had the right cards in your hand. Um, is it a similar case where, like, you do want to build up as many for your specials to use, or is it like you really don't need to? It's only if, like, desperate scenarios.
Depending, there is a thing like going overboard with it because we have 12 we have 12 turns to place cards. So
Hmm.
in on a norm, like there's a few exceptions for this. There's like Pedal to the Metals, which came out like a lot later. It has You start with 6 special points on the map, which is nuts.
Hmm.
But like typically, because a 312 a special attack only requires 3 special points per card, or yeah, per card.
Hmm.
You at the bare minimum need to build 6 special points for in those 12 turns, and then you need 2 turns to actually special attack with them.
Okay.
Yeah, so like there are a few situations like Pedal where you get more, so you can maybe slot out one of those special attacks for a 6 cards, so like because Megalodontia is 17, or like or Ursine Anomaly is 18 points.
Yeah.
But you also have a few situations like specifically this applies most to box seats because it only has 100 tiles. Because you can't special over another special point, so 312s are a lot harder to run in there. So, for instance, my deck, I just build up as much special as I can, and then for the last 4 turns, I just play a bunch of 3/8 cards.
Hmm. What are some of the, I guess, achievements that, like, players can look to achieve in the competitive table turf scene? That, like, I've like for, like, regular competitive, you have your lowings you could try to win. Some people try to win, like, some regular open tournaments and obviously collect their fair share of new badges. But what are some of, like, the goals that some players set out to achieve when it comes to, like, the side of table turf?
Well, obviously, like the very top of the cream of the crop is winning diamond brackets, which that just takes that you need the dedication to actually try for that. So,
Hmm.
yeah, like if you there's enough people out there that are like content with finishing baby jelly, and it's like, all right, I beat this. I like the same people was like, all right, I had a goal, I wanted to be low ink, and I did, so now I'm happy,
Yeah.
and I don't really need to push myself any further because I don't want to. Like, there's some people who have that. There's enough that just play table turf for the heck of it,
Hmm.
and then there's a few people. It's like this is because when the new, I believe it's when the new maps got released, but they also pushed the level cap to 999.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
get like a badge for that in the game.
Yes. Like very pretty early on, we there was a method figure out to automate it with an Arduino.
Hmm.
But there are a few map men out there that have done it manually.
That sounds insane.
It is insane. Like
Yeah.
I know if memory serves me correctly, like the most efficient strat and the most brain dead technically
Mhm.
Well, it's not really the nicest way to say it, but it's the easiest. Is you start up, you get to level 50 at least, because was it 50? I don't remember exactly, but you get high enough to unlock Clone Jelly, who
Mhm.
plays a copy of your deck on Main Street. Then you just play a bunch of small cards, like not nothing 5 or above or something,
Mhm.
and you play a singular 312. So he just builds up towards Clone Jelly. You wait until he places his 312 down. You get a special point adjacent to it. You have more than enough time to build special points for at least well, for at least your 312 at the end. And you can have a perfect overlap in a 24-point swing. And because your deck and his deck is so small, there's no way for him to come back from it.
Huh. And it's just kind of repeating that cycle. And I
Yes,
imagine that if
over
that
it.
over and over until I'm that
Yeah.
sounds like I mean, that's fair. I mean, as someone who like in my past I've been a shiny hunter in Pokemon, so I'm totally
Oh, I
used
could tell.
to I love that you said that. But I totally understand like the repeating the same thing until you get the result you're hoping for, or grinding for. So like it sounds crazy, and I just love that like in my other experiences outside of Splatoon that I totally get what you mean and like why the people are so committed to doing that.
Yeah, I've tried it myself for a bit. Like, I didn't do that method. I just played random opponents for another reason because I wanted to have all the numbers line up nicely.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, yeah. No, but you the easiest way to do it is just have something else on in the background. Well, or
Yeah.
basically in the foreground, and you like half pay attention because there's no time limit.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you really just have an ascent
Yeah,
all
like
the time to get to go
yeah,
through for you.
if you play against the AI, there is no time limit set up. Like usually, if you play someone else, you don't have to set up a time limit.
Hmm.
But like everyone does because otherwise matches take forever.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That makes
Yeah,
sense. How
yeah.
long do you usually set the time limits for?
Uh, Usually for like TBO, we set a time limit for 50 seconds.
Okay.
I wanted Whenever I host casual card club, it's 60 because I want people to have a little more time.
Yeah.
And then there is a format. We've had a few different formats previously where we had a format called bullet time where
Hmm.
you just play for 10 to 20 seconds every turn. And then it's not just like, oh, I have the time to just carefully plan out all my moves. Like I need no, you need to place your cards down quickly.
Yeah, you gotta
Because
go.
yeah, yeah, because like if you place nothing down, you automatically pass your highest cost card.
That's so interesting. And
Yeah.
you've mentioned a few times casual card club. Why don't you tell me more about this? Um I mean, by the name of it, it sounds like it's just for those like casually getting into like the scene and stuff. But why don't you like break down? Like
Yeah.
maybe it's like one its
So
origin or just kind of what it's up to like today.
yeah. So we have a looking for game channel in the Discord.
Hmm.
So, but we have it's so I don't remember. Crap! Oh no, I need to do my credits properly. I can't remember the name on top of my head, but
Hmm.
let's see it. So I'm just quickly gonna look this
Yeah, no
up
problem
while
at
I'm
all.
talking, like because someone
So that's
talked
gonna be a
with.
question I had too. Is like, how do people like? I guess practice. Obviously, you have the AIs and stuff, and you could just randomly search for online matches. But like, I was gonna ask, is there like a looking for game or scrim section that these people could post in and get the practice?
Basically, but looking for game basically functions as both. If you want to play casually or if you want to test out a deck,
Hmm.
I've got the name. It's Cryptid Cultist is who it was. But she set up like way before because also for a little context, we had like most of the table turf tournaments run for European times
Hmm.
because mostly whenever you ran American times, the not the dropout, the show up was a lot lower.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So like at some point just for our TO's sake, we moved it. We just made it consistently to it's 8 p.m. CET, if I'm getting my time zones right.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, at some point, so Crypto Cultist is like, all right, I'll make like the casual any hour for like more American friendly times.
Mhm.
And so you have one, an American time zone for now for play table turf, and two, if you are very shy or you are not certain about like dipping your toes in this, you could come here to any hour. You can be there's no stakes involved here. You can just play,
Yeah.
and you can leave whenever you want. You don't have to dedicate like the next 3 hours to playing a tournament.
Oh, nice. So, and how
Yeah.
long do these usually like run for?
So any hour ran for like usually 2 hours at a time.
Okay.
Then eventually, Cryptid had to. I don't remember what exactly happened, but she had to stop hosting.
Mhm.
So like a little bit later, uh, now I need to actually get my names right because I know who I'm talking about.
No problem.
Like, yeah, because like now I know the guy as Comet, but his username on table is on Discord is Tableturf, literally.
That's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
so like he's literally Mr. Tableturf.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah, but I know like somewhere else he's also known as Cobalt. But anyway, at some point he wanted to take over, so he came up with Casual Card Club,
Mhm.
where he just ran a few maps every few weeks. Well, every week was the intention.
Yeah.
But then he had to move, so his it would screw up with his time with his sleep schedule because he had to basically host like after midnight.
Mhm.
And at that point, I took over, and I've been hosting Casual Card Club ever since.
Nice.
That is now rough. I want to say roughly 1.5 year ago, but let's see.
And I guess I want to ask in your so far about year and a half long so far time running uh the Casual Card Club. What has been some of your favorite moments that you've been able to kind of witness or be a part of?
Well, hosting this is like really special to me anyway because I always had like the as a little kid I had the thing like, oh, how would it feel to be like that, like like the all the soccer players on TV are like the best as I say, the best F1 racer or the strongest female sprinter, and say
Mhm. Yeah.
like I would feel like how would it be as like or to be this content creator? How would it feel to be like this like pillar, I guess, in your in your community?
Mhm.
So that what makes like hosting this really special to me. Uh, I've been yapping too long that I forgot the question.
It's okay. Besides hosting, what else is there anything else that you've also like really enjoyed uh seeing kind of happen in the scene or in the scene that or and just overall like things that you've really enjoyed kind of taking this step up and hosting the Casual Card Club or maybe just in general? Like what's been some like key highlights for you in the table turf scene?
Okay, well, I'm reminiscing if I didn't talk about it. So I want to say it was during. I don't remember which one it was. This was because for some time Dapple used to run. What was it? Deck was not Deck Up. Dual On.
Mhm.
That was it. So like I want to say like within because for a little bit of context, we had one guy in the server once come up with like a meme strategy of like in River Drift where you just have the entire like because it's a fairly thin map.
Mhm.
We have just your side of the board being all special points, so your opponent can't special over it. So we laughed at it because it was funny because all the cards required were like would make the deck like way too small to be viable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then someone at I want to say it was Golden Duel on one, but I do not remember on top of my head.
Mhm.
So he made it was Juven, I'm pretty sure. He made that deck actually work, and no one was expecting it. So his opponent was like, "I need to special, but I have literally nothing to special over. What do I do?" And Juven was like, still up enough or close enough in points that he could actually special over his opponent's points and actually win the matches. Like
Mm.
we have dubbed that strategy dual that at that time, and
Mhm.
I believe the Japanese scene called it Exodia.
Wait, that's
Yeah,
actually crazy.
what we were watching like, oh, whoa, 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 what is happening here? They're like, he can't do anything.
No, that's actually awesome. And how often, are there currently, like, frequent streams for table turf matches, and, like, commentary for it, or is it just kinda like you just view, like, the, overheads?
Uh, we try to get a stream up because because like okay, how do I say this? Because like the general interest in table turf has definitely dropped since well the hate like the peak days of online coming out.
Mhm.
Because like that's for two. I'd say it's for two reasons. One, we are a fairly isolated server in the Greater Splatoon community.
Mhm.
Actually, three reasons. Because no, the second is like we are a card game in a shooter game, so that's already like not
Yeah.
the main niche. Yeah. So like I want to say that a lot of people try table turfs like, oh, this is kind of neat, and then never touch it again.
Yeah.
And I think this is the biggest thing is that we do not have a natural progression to get into playing against other people.
Mhm.
It's like for normal Splatoon, like let's say I'm teaming Splatoon, I've just bought the game. It's like, oh, I'll try playing the single player. It's like, oh, I find this really fun. Then you go play Turf War. It's like, oh, I find this fun. And you unlock the rank modes.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, I find like it's a very natural progression for a player to like play single player, play the less competitive modes, play the more well, quote unquote more interesting modes. It's like, oh, I actually want to try and compete. And then you get to X ranked battles.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I really want to do this like at a higher level. And then you search up for like competitive Splatoon and you get what is it? I believe Stronghold is the main hub for that.
One of them, yeah, yeah, Stronghold
Yeah.
is one of the, like, pretty much the go-to center for a lot of, competitive resources.
Yeah, but that's a very natural progression for your players to take.
Yeah.
Like for us, we have like you play against the AI, and then you need to find other people to play with because we do not have matchmaking.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. We had a matchmaking at some point. Like we made it ourselves at some point, but at the we had actually had an issue at that point where like when we tried to advertise it, people mistook it for you can play just in a simulator with all the cards unlocked,
Mhm.
which was not what we had in mind. Like there is at this point, it's been like 1.5 years since the game launched, and everyone basically had all the cards at that point, or most of them.
Yeah.
So like the simulator wasn't really required anymore. But most people who came in at that point, it's like thought our matchmaking was also a simulator. So they got on. They got confused with like where they play, and then it's like you need to play in the main game. It's like, oh, I'm not doing that. Goodbye.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. So it's just like a misunderstanding that definitely, like, deterred, a chunk of players away.
Yeah, yeah. But I think our main issue is we do not have a natural way of progression of getting people into competitive table turf,
Mhm.
which is part of the reason why I host Casual Card Club is to let people actually try this game out.
Yeah.
Because I think this is for a side mode. This is a really good game.
Mhm. I mean, from so far, I mean, it seems like there's a lot of, like, very enjoyable aspects and just, like, a lot more strategy I think most people just don't really understand when it comes to table turf. Because I think when they first play it, right, you have 2 types of people, right? Those that are just trying it, and then those that, like, try it and they wanna, like, get as far as they can with it. And, um I think also a lot of people, like, when they just try a little bit just, like, to grind it out just so they have the completion in their game, they just kinda play stuff wherever without realizing, like, there's, like, some deep strategy that's gotta go into it. Are there guides out there, whether that be maybe, like, Google Docs, YouTube videos, etcetera, that kinda help, teach people and push people forward into learning the more competitive aspects of table turf?
Half-ish, not really. I think Cryptic Cultist like once made like a basic guide on how deck building works.
Mhm.
Also, Mr. Table. fairly the Tableturf slash Cobalt also made like a guide really early on for roughly how deck building is, but at the time the meta had like not really developed. So instead of focusing on base building, we had much bigger focus on what is the word I'm looking for? Reactionary plays. So like a
Okay.
card like Gnarly Eddie was back then was considered pretty bad because it was really hard to activate its special point if you just played it. But nowadays, now that the base building is a much yeah, a much bigger concept, Gnarly Eddie is actually a really good card because it can combo with a lot of other decent cards. Like Ten Attack is a very easy one to get that hole filled in.
Mhm.
If you need to fill the top, like what's it called? Not Clash. No, one of the Clash Blasters or the Hero Shot is very easy to just put on top of it. Because I like the guide is it's still like there's still good points to take out of it, but the guides we have right now are slightly outdated.
Got you.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have a deck building channel in the Discord. So if you it's like, hey, I have this deck and like can people help me out with this?
Mhm.
And we will generally give like advice of like focusing on a base combo and such. But also like the biggest part of like trying to deck build is also like figuring out which cards you like and then build around those.
And now by saying like by what you mean by like the cards you like, you mean like just like any cards, right? It could be those that like have high special and high map output, or maybe even like some of the smaller ones that are just like I want to say good fillers, but I guess might as well be yeah those like filler
Yeah.
like smaller cards like the sub weapons or like the little buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, so generally there are a few cards we like tend to avoid because like for one we don't want too many small cards because at the end of the day we still need to get points.
Hmm.
So like let's say if like four of your cards are small, that is like if I say they're all five size cards, that is 20 points in 4 turns.
Hmm.
You can do that with one shiver at a splatter shot. Then you match that. Actually, you go above it. So like then there isn't really a there aren't really bad cards. Like every card has its use.
Hmm.
Like the one card we really want people to like stray away from. Well, that's really elitist way of saying it, but that we all generally consider like this is a really bad card is Burst Bomb, just
Hmm.
for the reason it only has 1 point attached to it. Like
That's fair.
every card in the game can outpace Burst Bomb in tempo.
Hmm.
Yeah, but no, I remember like one guy who was like, I really like rollers and I really like Freya. Like I want to use these cards together.
Yeah.
And then we had like, okay, well, the boss fight Freya, Eel Deal. You can fit a Dynamo Roller in that. If you have with regular roller, like a lot of square cards, like little Juds or hero shots, for instance, like you can play those against the wall and get easy special points. Like you can definitely stick to a theme when you're starting out. With like, I just like these cards, and then build from that.
I got you. So yeah, so at the end of the day, it's more of just making sure like you have the cards to support the ones you favor, like you enjoy the most. That way, you're able to have a viable deck by your standards.
Yes, like for personal personal example, I already mentioned Scrapper and Moss for myself,
Hmm.
but I am also Hydra is my main weapon, so I have put Hydra in a lot of my or try to put Hydra in a lot of my decks with varying success because I sometimes a little too stubborn.
That's
Yeah.
so valid.
Like- no, no, I remember side story. I had one Main Street strategy that relied on double Hydras,
Hmm.
but it took so absurdly long for the other Hydra kit to come out that at the time I could actually play it, it was it was completely outdated because it was much more focused on the reactionary play,
Mhm.
and it made me really sad.
Actually, I like that you actually just brought that up about, like, how long it takes for them to come out. How so far with, like, the ways that, like, that when they release weapons to come into the game, how often does those weapons getting added affect maybe certain decks or maybe certain ways of play, with table turf cards?
It's dependable because like a lot of weapons like have synergy with each other. With so like let's say the heavy edit when it came out had it could function with how was it? I think with normal splatter shot and splatter shot pro.
Mhm.
I may be mistaken on the specific kits, but because there was no heavy edit deck, was it heavy edit deco? I don't remember it. Yeah, but like because the second heavy edit kit wasn't out yet, like the 10 attack splatter shot and the was it Forge splatter shot? No, not for splatter shot pro. Nova, the other Nova kit.
Mhm.
Like those were like it like weaker because the other mirror wasn't out yet. But like the main meta impacting cards they released were the bigger ones. Like Ouroboros was already a big thing when that dropped. The
Mhm.
boss fight cards were pretty good. Megalodontia, especially right now, is a really strong card. But it's where like when Pearl, like the example for like the other Splatana Viper or the other Splattershot Junior, like that's 4 and 5 points. No one really cares
Yeah.
because they're just so such low tempo cards that they are like relegated. Well, for Splatana Stamper, it's a little different, but like the lower the points value on a card is, generally the less impact it has on the game.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I think the exception to this rule was that like at the very start when online play came up, because people did not have all the cards yet. So
Mhm.
like the rarity of your card actually mattered at that point. But like for instance, one of the better players at the time, Showers,
Mhm.
like one of the reasons her deck was like very notable is because it did not contain any fresh cards.
Hmm.
Like yeah, so it was pretty easy to build, like because you're like your Octavios and your Shivers and your Fries, like really good cards.
Yeah.
But I can't craft these because getting all three of those requires 120 bits, and I have three. Yeah,
Yeah, so some people were able to create these these very memorable and unique decks and styles of play that just kind of made you like I don't want to say confused, but just kind of like scratch your head and like how did you get to this moment?
yeah. Like literally, you can play every card if you've really scratched for it. Like I have a Thunder deck where I use Flow,
Hmm.
and I have never anyone else seen that use that card before. Like if you really put your mind to it, you can use every card in this game.
I feel like that makes it so exciting because the regular competitive play, like there's obviously like some weapons that like you really can't, right? You can't get far in like high level competitive play with it, but it's really fun to know that like some of the worst like maybe weapons or whatever it is like used in regular competitive Splatoon could be like to get so far in another aspect. So for this instance, table turf, that it's just like it's just incredible to like at somewhere someone still have a use.
Yeah, uh, I think it's also funny that it's not as common, but it also kind of happens in reverse. Like, because I know like Pencil is like really good in normal Splatoon.
Mhm.
I have that is card is so outclassed in table turf. Like,
Something I bet no
yeah,
one ever expected to hear. Pencil and outclass in the same sentence.
yes, no, like because like the niche for Pencil is like to because it's a really thin card,
Mhm.
then it's to push a special point up really far. The regular chargers do the same job, but but instead of 3 wide, they are 2 wide, so they're much easier to use. And here's it's also the big thing because pencil is a 9 cost card.
Hmm.
It requires 4 special points to use if you want a special attack with it. So like
Hmm.
to break through enemy lines. If you do that with a charger, because it's an 8 cost card, you can do it with 3 special points. And that makes a huge tempo difference.
Hmm.
So yeah, no, pencil is well, I don't want to say completely outclassed because like again, you can probably find a combo which pencil is integral to.
Yeah. But for the
But
most
like
part,
for
it's like,
yeah, for a poking card, it is completely outclassed by chargers and the E leaders.
wow. That's actually crazy. It had the complete opposite effect that it did in regular like competitive Splatoon. That's so interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, like you can make any card work. You just have to put in more work for some cards than others.
Yeah, which I think makes sense. That's kind of how it feels for some things in like the competitive side. Like there are just some weapons that like probably to an extent can get far, but it it takes more work.
Yeah. Like there's also like let's see if like the 52 gals you basically never see because their combos are a lot nicher.
Hmm.
Like that's the funny thing. Like 52 is really hard to work with. You see a 96 every now and then because it both of them combo with Octoling. Like I find that like the general well, quote unquote balance of table turf cards is probably a lot closer to like every card is viable than the main game.
Yeah.
But there's also just you get situations like that where it's like like pencil. No, I want a charger.
I love hearing that in general, just because that's just so awesome to know that there's like there's it's the hearing like just like the opposites of what some people always like say with like I said before with the regular competitive gameplay. So it's just really cool to know that like in table turf like there are some things that you just never would have expected to just do so much better, just get further than their main reasons for being in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, table turf is much more than just the funny, like the side mode card game of Splatoon.
Hmm. What are some things you would like to see grow or change in the aspect of the table turf scene?
Okay, this is gonna sound really stupid, but like the biggest thing we need growth in is like the literal growth, which is like just the amount of players.
That's fair. That's fair. Well
Yeah,
then, you know what? I'm
like,
gonna quickly side note that then. What would you say to would be a great help to get people maybe more interested into the scene itself, or like tell people that maybe have a slight interest in it and how to maybe help them go further into joining the scene and
yeah,
helping it grow itself.
yeah. We definitely have like yeah, I think like the two main issues are like that we are as table turf battle server TBS we are fairly isolated because we have I don't believe we have any like links with other major Splatoon organizations.
Hmm.
And the second again is that lack of natural progression. So
Hmm.
like once you're finished with the AI, you're just basically thrown in the deep end of how you want to play. Like, cause even people in like if you join I believe the main pool we use is TBS. Like every now and then, I just jump in the table turf pool, and then the people who get in there, because this is also like a big thing, because like most of the people who play nowadays are like are quote unquote veterans.
Hmm.
It's like it's a pretty I want to say is really intimidating for like you get in, you have no clue what you're doing, and you get absolutely stomped is, but no, that you get absolutely stomped
Yeah.
because that is not a fun first time experience. At that point, it's like, oh, these guys are all better than me. Why would I bother?
Hmm.
Which is a very fair reaction to have. It's why I also host casual card club, so I can just train or just enjoy in a low stakes environment.
Yeah, I think honestly, like it's on a good. I feel like right now it's at a good track where you have the option for players that have interest that they're able to in a sense try to search for the opportunity to like find more people that are interested in it, and you offer the experience where it's like, hey, like I know the game didn't offer you much, but like we do, where you could just come on out,
Yeah,
give it a shot, and if it doesn't go well, like by all means, it's like it's no
yeah,
worries. Like you could free the. It's not like you have to. You're
yeah,
strapped to it for like a tournament, like a regular
yeah.
Cthulhu tournament.
Yeah, like we try to be as open minded as possible. Like, and if you really want to get into it, you absolutely can. Like, I know Dude shows up every now and then, not for
Hmm.
CCC, but like just in general for if you for playing games.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Dude is a good player. Like, he's a legitimately really good player.
that's pretty cool. What are some also like fun guests you've had pop up in the table turf scene?
Uh, we've well, let's see. Like, I have personal friendship with Shower, so I'll also already like that. That's a good one on my list. Like,
Hmm.
Yuvin is our best or like our most consistent winner. So like in quotation quotes, the best player we have.
Hmm.
We had a few like we had a period where we were like trying like Dr. Potato ran. He had to stop for his study reasons, but he ran like table turf labs where we just and table turf trials where we had like really weird deck challenges. Like you get a bit of time to build your deck,
Hmm.
and with these specific rules, and then you just thrown in, well, not thrown in deep end, but
You
let's
just
see
gotta try
what
to
is
like compete with it against other players. So it's
yeah,
kind of like almost like a gimmick event.
yeah, basically.
Okay,
Like
nice.
I'm trying to see like if I can like find like a funny one, but what is pictures. Oh yeah, here like we had like one trial ones where like special weapon, like you pick two specials
Hmm.
from just from any of the specials. Let's say you pick big butler, not big bubbler, ink jets and splatter scholar screen.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you now can only use weapons that run one of those two specials.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
got
Yeah, like
you.
if you don't have the enough cards, you fill it out with sub weapons, but
But still
like
has to
you have
remain to like the classes that
little
have it.
challenges like yeah, little challenges like that. So like you can only play cards that are 3 tiles wide. Or like is it am I saying this right? Yeah, like you're like 3 tiles wide. Like
Hmm.
card like things like that.
Wow. So yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely brings some like stress and excitement to it, because instead of just having like your
Yeah.
usual like what people usually use.
Yeah, like unfortunately like Potato had to stop hosting that because he had to focus on his studies
Hmm.
with fair reasoning, but like there's probably someone who if someone is willing, like I can't speak for any of the TOs, but like personally, like if there's enough interest, I am willing to run it.
Yeah. How are these events usually ran? I did see some friendly members in the on the Twitch chat had mentioned that there's no like Sendu support. So what do you usually run these
Yeah.
events on? Do you use like
Uh,
Star QG, or do you use like your own
yeah.
kind of?
Yeah. We find it a little unfortunate. Like I'm not gonna like said that he blamed the Sendu or something.
No, no, yeah.
Like oh it's fine. Like obviously this is not his responsibility.
Hmm.
But usually we use Battlefy just to have our tournament set up. Like we host a. Why do I randomly open something else? Wait, no, we just run on Battlefy mostly, and we have announcements in the Discord.
Hmm.
And I believe, let me make sure I get this right. Yeah, no, we have like I don't remember if we still do it, but at least I know we used to have like a this week in table turf, which we posted on Twitter and Blue Sky.
Hmm.
It was like, hey, these are the tournaments and events that are happening this week. So like, hey, we have a TBO this week, or hey, it's Friday, it's CS Casual Cards Club, and things like that, or maybe we have a baby jelly cup.
That's actually gonna be one of my next questions I had. What are some good resources for people to maybe um one look into more table turf if like they find some interest in it, and also to like watch like maybe like socials that they can follow to try to keep up with it.
Well, let me just. The main one is obviously like the turf battle, sir. Like table.
Hmm.
I'm just. Yeah, if you search it on Google, you instantly get to the server and the Twitch channel associated with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I know. We have a Twitter. Let's see this. We should have a Twitter and a Blue Sky. I just mentioned that. I should know this. Yes, we have a Twitter and a Blue Sky account as well. Just Table Turf Battle server. Like, is it at Table Turf? I actually don't have a social myself, so I'm not sure how you follow.
That's fair. That's fair. Let me. I'll look it up on my end
Yeah,
and find it here.
yeah. But no, like the main thing
Oh yeah.
we have for it, like for it is just the TBS.
Hmm.
Like everyone here is super friendly. I don't think we've ever had like a really toxic person,
Hmm.
and most of the well, quote unquote annoying persons have mellowed out, and we like slapped on the wrist every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as you expect for any kind of community to have. So
Yeah,
there's those moments where you have to
yeah,
get those through. But no, that's
yeah.
awesome. Still
And
in
the
general.
occasional spam bot we have to delete.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah. No, I remember at some point that it was so bad that we had to set up like a rule that we couldn't. I don't know if it's still active. That you couldn't post a picture unless you were like server level 1 or 2 or something like that.
Hmm.
So we just didn't have all those stupid bot accounts
No, that's
go in
smart.
like yeah. Yeah. It's like a little unwieldy for like, hey, I wanna make this deck.
Hmm.
Or like, "Hey, can you help me with the deck?" And then you can't post a picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, usually if that happens, you can just like ask someone and someone will ask like, "Oh, can you just DM it to me and then I'll post it for you?"
Oh, nice. Have you ever had cases where people like will come in, ask for how to build a deck, and then leave?
Sometimes.
Okay. I figured.
No, but like you always have those people, right? Who like
Oh
they
yeah,
think they're
even like
fun. Yeah, like
yeah.
they think they're funny, but like, "Oh, I'm gonna ask this question and then not respond." Like
Yeah.
that is like that is like childhood. That's like a childhood prank. Like you ring the bell and then you run off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I think those are most of the main questions I had. So, is there anything that you'd like that we maybe didn't discuss that you want to go over in regards to the table turf scene?
Uh, Trying to think as well. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like absolutely. I
the,
mean, this is a good section. I usually like
yeah,
to pass the mic over. So feel free to like mention anything you like, anything that maybe didn't go over. That would be
uh,
cool to mention, whether for those that are already currently into the scene itself, or maybe aren't yet and maybe have piqued an interest.
yeah, yeah. Like obviously, like if you want to like try table turf out, like because there's the thing like what I said earlier. Like this is a card game in a shooter game, so it's already like a you need a specific niche of people.
Hmm.
But like if you are interested, 'cause table turf is much more than just the silly card game where you just place where they have cute art.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and unless you're it's a Salmonid or a Octarian. But no, like if you want to get into table turf, definitely like try look up the table turf battle server. Like if you want to practice and you're too shy to ask someone, like I always host like it's Friday night on like 8 p.m. CET if I get my time zones correctly.
Hmm.
I host on Friday. There's a role for that if you want to get pinged. And I always hammer time the dates. So if you're unsure, and like from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. CET, and then do you call it 12 to 1 CET?
Okay, got you. Yeah, that's more. I think that's right around like late morning to afternoon, East Coast in the
Yeah,
U.S.
let's see. 8 p.m. CET, other time zones.
Yeah, I think that's like 2 p.m. EDT.
EDT. Can I find that? That is that's 6 EDT, I think, at UTC plus 11 or whatever. I am really bad with time zones. I
It's
hammer
okay.
time
I was
everything.
about to say, like, if I can't figure it out, like, hammer time's my best friend.
Yeah, yeah. No, like for European, for Central European time, that is 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and 12 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, like I basically have like one time zone for European where like we that's also like 8 p.m. is also when when TBO is always run or
Hmm.
starts. And then I have one there where I try to be more American friendly time zone.
Nice. And that way, everyone gets an opportunity. How many times a week are there events usually hosted? Like three, four?
Uh, I believe because of the like, well, not influx. What's the reverse of an influx? I'm blanking on words.
Um, I know what you're talking about. I also
The
can't think of the word, but I know what you
inver
mean.
inverse of influx, right? Reverse of influx, opposite, whatever. Google, whatever. Like because of we have last plays, we host like TBO like once every 2 weeks,
Hmm.
and don't quote me on this. I may misremember. I think we host BGC, our lowing tournament,
Hmm.
once every. I want to say once every 2 months or once every month. I do not remember on top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah, but we do that because like if you win BGC, you get banned from BGC.
Yeah.
You get just the same as lowing.
Oh,
Like you are
nice.
too good now for this.
Yeah. Play something more
Yeah, like
competitive.
yeah, like congratulations, you have proven yourself to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like it's the same thing that you don't have the same people up top every time bullying the rest.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man. Well, I mean,
yeah.
you've taught me, and I'm sure some other people watching, so much about um a side of the game that honestly I never really expected to have so much, and honestly deserves more resources to it and more visibility. Um, but I would like to give this time to you since I feel I don't have anything else to add unless you do feel free to. But
Mm,
to shout out whatever you'd like to shout
mm,
out, whoever you'd like to shout out, um, and you know whatever else you'd like to mention.
yeah. I was gonna go like, hey, there's a casual car club, right? But I just did that. It's my
It's okay.
pants over
Well,
here.
let's mention it again. This Friday,
Yeah, yeah.
what's the server we
Every
join?
yeah on the Tableturf battle server every Friday from 8 p.m. 9 p.m. CET and 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. CET. I host
Mhm,
Casual Car Club. If for a very low stakes environment where you can just practice table turf.
mhm.
And I guess for shout out like basically everyone in TBS. Like these guys are so fun. Like Nerdbird, Pinon, Trelina, Showers, Kimmy, Yuvin, at, no, AJ, like and Andreas. I I love all these people. like I'm not the most social person myself, and I think I would never have expected to stick with this group for so long.
Mhm.
These people are really special to me.
Absolutely, and I think that's the best part that always comes with niche aspects of games like this is that you're able to find like and build a really fun and cool side to the community that a lot of people don't realize exists, but like once it's there, like it's truly incredible and it's awesome to experience and just have that.
Yes, they, this for words. No, like I'm very happy with that I've met these people. Oh, and I please like give Tableturf a shot. This is so much more than the silly little card game that YouTubers use for their thumbnails. Yeah, it's so much more.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's deserving of the appreciation and deserving to have a shot at it. You know, give it a go.
yeah.
I'll have to now after this check to see where I last left off on my table turf because I know
Yeah.
for a while I remember I'll never forget one of the first times I started playing. The first match I had, I lost Baby Jelly, and my friends will never let me live that down, but I thankfully did. So. But yeah, no, absolutely. I want to give a huge shout out to you as well for just thank you for coming on and just giving this up. You know, having so much of this knowledge is brought out and put out into there, into the world, and hopefully someone out there that's maybe watching this or tuning in, garnish that information and pique their interest and is hopefully going to check out the table turf side of the community. I love the way that Traylina puts it in chat is that it's like a little village. You know, once you're there, you feel at home and you enjoy everything it has to offer. So truly thank you for coming on
Yeah,
and sharing your knowledge with us.
yeah, yeah. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to like promote the the game mode I have grown in love with and the people who have helped me make it awesome.
Absolutely. It was really my pleasure. And I learned something new today. And I think for me, that's always a plus, especially when it comes to a game and a scene that and just in general, a community in general that I really enjoy and love being a part of. It's always so cool to learn something new for something that I didn't really, acknowledge or really see that had much to it.
Yes.
So, well, with that being said, then that seems like a great opportunity, a great spot for us to end off this episode of the Cactus Patch. So, I want to also thank all of you for who are watching, listening, either currently live or in the YouTube VOD. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hopefully, you learned a little bit extra as long as I did today about table turf. And with that being said, we're going to close it off here, and we'll see you all next time in the next episode of the Cactus Patch.
Yeah. Have a good night or day or whatever.
Whatever time zone you might be in.